Sports at Night is recorded in front of a non-existent studio audience. What is happening, everybody? We are finally back. And I know y'all missed us because we sure as hell missed you guys. Welcome to another episode of Sports at Night. Real fans, real talk. And as always, I am your host, Todd the Coach Knight.
Your hot host.
The hot host, yes.
Flames hot. Yes. Jevon Superman Miller. Josh, hell yeah. And
yeah.
Will the Beard Trahan.
Yeah.
It's the Fab Four. We're here. And we're ready to deliver one hell of a show to you guys.
Yeah, yes indeed.
It's great to have all four of us here, man. I mean, we haven't done this since our preview of the Super Bowl when it was the Eagles and the Patriots.
Wow, it's the last time.
It's been a long time since we've done it like this.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel weird.
Yeah. Is it because I'm here?
Don't you generally feel that way, though?
I do.
Is it a Caucasian overload?
Yeah, man. I see too many white people.
Bottom line is, it's a really lopsided reverse Oreo. But it's okay. We love you, and it's all right, man.
Well, I love you too, Todd, Coach Knight.
I appreciate that. Thank you for that lovely sentiment there, Superman.
The coach, man. We gotta have a coach up here. See, it took you to bring all this back together again, man.
It's true.
Beautimous. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
I've just been talking in the shower. My wife's been wondering what.
It's like Will's just talking sports in the shower. Todd, please God, have him on the podcast today. This is ridiculous. He's screaming at himself.
that was really supposed to stay on the lowdown. But, hey, now that it's all out there,
This is a release.
and I might need some insurance to probably protect me from, all of the negativity that's bound to come from all this.
The backlash.
The backlash, exactly.
That's absolutely.
So, as always, our show is brought to you, of course, by Paul McMurray State Farm. Where the only thing better than the policies themselves is the service you'll be provided with. Call the number on your screen and somebody will be more than happy to help you with all of your insurance-related needs. For those of you listening on the audio version of our podcast, the number, of course, is 318-741-7506. 04. I beg your pardon.
Hey, wait. Todd, what was my phone number when we were kids in the late 80s?
Let me think here. 318.
4 because you're so old.
What was it? I know you know it.
Oh, God.
You don't?
I'm thinking.
You're just bad with numbers.
We just getting old, man. It's hard
It
to remember
is.
stuff.
I'm getting very bad with numbers.
It's hard to remember stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember yours. It was 9322, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for not, distributing the entire number there because
1373, Todd.
That's right.
Come on,
Okay.
bro.
I remember your dad's number.
That's strange.
I remember because of the mathematical equation behind it.
Oh, yeah.
It was 318-636-9327. 9 times 3 is 27.
That was my dad's phone number in the 90s. He remembers that.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
You old cats, man.
I have one question.
Was that?
Yes.
When your dad got that number,
Yeah.
was I born yet?
No.
Yeah, because that would be about 97.
So I was 3 years old.
Well, at least he was in the world trade. Little did I know you would be here killing me lately. You know what I mean? Like I never knew.
The prophecy is fulfilled.
The prophecy is fulfilled. They told me that there will be a Tom Brady lover coming in my life at some point to ruin it at some point.
And
here he is.
they shall call him Will Trahan.
Will Trahan. And it is fulfilled.
It is written. All right. But before we dive into all that, I just want to kind of give you guys a little bit of a heads up of exactly what it is that we're going to be doing on today's show. We're going to start off by talking about the Golden State Warriors. Anybody going to be able to knock them off of their high horse and everything in the West? This is a dynasty, I think, Certainly in the making, at least sure it could be.
Oh, for sure.
The East is wide open now that LeBron's not over there anymore. Who's going to emerge out of that? And we have a very unique take on the NFL draft that I don't think any show really ever's ever done before.
Mm-hmm. So we're the best show.
Yeah, so I mean, we're going to do it differently. We're going to be the GM for our favorite teams, since all of us are in the unique position of having a top 10 pick. So, yeah, we're going to do it that way. But first, I just want to say a real quick and very special thank you and special shout out to two legends who have called it a career here in the NBA. Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki. And I mean, there's the list goes on and on and on with their achievements. They both met each other twice in the finals. Of course, in 2006,
Dirk beat Dwayne.
No. Dwayne beat Dirk.
Dwayne beat Dirk.
That was when Dwayne Wade and Shaq.
With Shaq.
Yeah.
And he hit that.
The Heat were down 2-0 in that series.
Oh, yeah,
And then
yeah,
came
yeah,
back and won the next 4 games.
Yeah.
And Dwayne hit one of the longest 3-pointers I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was a great
Correct.
game.
Yeah. Fast forward 5 years later, and then you have the big three in their first year together with the Miami Heat.
That's what I was thinking.
And then Dirk has the series of his life.
And the Jet was with him.
The Jet was with him, and
right.
Jason Kidd was able to get a ring in the process.
Yes, right. Yeah.
So I mean, those are some of my favorite memories where those guys are concerned, and I mean, just again, hats off to a phenomenal career to those guys, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dirk was one of the few remaining NBA players that was drafted in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
Who else is left? Vince Carter?
Yeah,
Yep.
Who else? That's it?
that's it.
Udonis
That's it.
Haslem, right?
Is he still playing?
Yeah.
Well, then there you go.
That's-
Oh, yeah. For the
He still
Heat.
plays for the Heat.
For the Heat. He played
Still
for
plays
his whole
Heat.
career.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Well,
All those guys played for one team their whole career.
Yeah.
That is
Except for Vince. He's played for all the teams.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and Wade.
Yeah.
And
Wade was drafted in 2003.
Yeah, that's true. You're
and,
right.
and we forget something too, that now a 3-point shooting center is kind of something that we look forward to, but Nowitzki was the start of the 3-point shooting.
He truly was.
Yeah,
He's unquestionably the best Euro player ever.
Yeah, I mean, he transformed the game.
He truly did, because
he
he invented the stretch 4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's
true.
Now, what was the center for the Sonics back in the day that had some range? Do you remember that?
Sam Perkins.
That's it.
Sam Perkins.
I was gonna say Deadly Shrimp, but I forgot he was a powerful.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
This was a big guy who was shooting threes, not like Dirk, but rather consistent.
Yeah, Dirk.
Y'all ever,
Dirk
I mean, one thing I just to kind of divert from just a second and going back to Sam Perkins, if y'all pull up an image of Sam Perkins, guys, he had 2 lazy eyes.
He did, yeah.
He always
Yeah.
looked sleepy. It didn't matter if he slept for 3 hours or 23 hours. He always looked sleepy.
Yeah.
He had vision.
He had some range, though.
He really did.
Yeah. I really know Sam Perkins.
And not many people know this. He played with Michael Jordan in college
Oh, wow.
That's right. He did play
with North
Seth
Carolina.
Perkins.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just another
very true.
little golden nugget to throw out there
Yeah.
for you
Wait
guys.
a minute. Didn't James Worthy play with Michael too?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, here's a question for you guys. Mm-hmm. When I think about like some of the prettiest things that you see in sports, besides Jimmy Garoppolo, you know what I'm saying?
Gosh, okay.
That dude is cute. But I think of Ken Griffey's swing,
Right.
and I think of Dirk's shot.
Especially,
I don't know,
especially
man.
that fadeaway.
Okay.
I mean,
That mud arch way up there.
So
is,
as somebody who is younger and didn't get to watch the NBA players of the 90s,
Yeah.
Dirk was established whenever I started watching basketball.
Yeah.
That's
That's
very
And it was
fair
when the
point.
game started speeding up. You had D-Wade, you had all these guys who were super fast. LeBron was coming into his own, and Dirk was slow and awkward. Like the epitome of a slow, awkward white dude.
Okay.
And his
Yeah.
shot, while yes, it looked pretty going in, watching him like lumber around on the floor while people are running around him and
Like
he's still just
Frankenstein.
dropping dimes, like I wouldn't describe it as beautiful. It was just impressive.
No, his shot, not him lumbering down the court.
Well,
his shot.
even his step back fadeaway, I felt like all you had to do was like take 2 steps, wait for him to lean back and then.
I want you
touch the rabbit.
But it's unblockable.
That's true.
I want you to get on YouTube and
That's
type
true.
in Dirk blocked.
It's-
You're gonna find
no results.
No results.
You know what it reminds me of?
Did you mean blah 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 blah?
Nah, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Kareem Skyhook. You just cannot block
Very
it, man.
pretty.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're very tall,
Virtually
very pretty.
indefensible.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
fit it. All you gotta do is just sit back and take it.
And also the Dream Shake?
The Dream Shake.
Oh
Yeah.
man, Akeem the Dream Elijah.
Exactly.
See, there
my
was two
goodness.
big men that I grew up idolizing. It was Dirk and Tim Duncan. Those two guys were just like awkward, not really that athletic.
Yeah,
looking,
those
but-
were the big men of the 2000s. I think the other one that you'll probably go into the
Well,
question.
Well, see,
Shaq,
but
obviously,
Shaq-
that's an obvious
when
one.
Shaq
But
came in-
Kevin Garnett as well.
yes.
Yeah.
When
Garnett, yeah.
when Shaq came into the league, dude was flying around everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
He was 7 foot tall,
God,
but
yeah.
like
Shaq was a
sprinting,
freaking
yeah.
unicorn.
But
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett, I felt like was just as likely to shoot the ball as he was to punch someone.
That's a fair
Yeah, I
point.
mean he's known as one of the best
You know,
trash talkers.
I'm not gonna lie. Kevin
Yeah.
Garnett was more mouth than fight. I mean, he
Towards the end of his career.
Yeah. He liked to talk you out your game. He was really good at that. And see,
was.
another big man that was my favorite big man, but I guess wasn't in the 2000s. I guess he wasn't. He was on it. I'm sorry.
Who?
Who you got?
Rodman, but Rodman was done by 2000, baby. It was pretty much over. for Rodman.
Aside from the obvious antics that Rodman was known for, there's one word that comes to mind whenever I think about Rodman.
It's gonna be hustle.
Rebound.
Tenacious.
Yeah, tenacious. Yeah.
Although rebounds and hustle, those are two fantastic
I
words to
mean-
associate with him as well.
It's weird that. Go ahead.
We've spent
how
way
we
too
do
much
it.
time on that.
That's how we do,
and
man.
my gosh, as much as that was supposed to be a tribute to Dirk and Dwayne,
It was a tribute to who we liked.
Well, actually, you know,
Let me say, yeah.
we all four need rocking chairs with that one.
Yeah.
Except you. I think you get like a bar stool or
like
something.
a crib.
it's Lil Will.
Like a crib.
Lil Will.
Nah, but real talk, just from the heart, man. Dirk and Dwayne Wade are like two of my favorite players of all time.
Certainly iconic.
Especially Dwayne Wade. I felt like if anybody, could have stepped in and took Michael's spot, it could have been Dwayne Wade if he wouldn't have been injured so
For a
much.
time, it looked like that was possible.
I mean,
Absolutely,
the
yeah.
way he dunks, the way he shoot, the way he was able to dribble. I mean, easily he had the Michael Jordan effect. But once again, his body couldn't hold up.
Well-
which is another reason why we love MJ so much, because he defied a lot of things. You know what I mean?
I feel the same thing can be said about Penny Hardaway, but I cannot get into that. I could talk about that for an hour.
Yeah.
Well, I think
so could I. I mean, but I know you especially could.
I think D Wade, where he differed from Jordan, D Wade set the ego aside to put together one of the greatest runs that we've ever seen with the Heat.
With the Heat.
I mean, he had Bosh, who we all could see played third fiddle, but his best friend LeBron James came in to his team that he won a championship
And he took a back
already,
seat.
and he took a step back and said, "Go ahead, LeBron."
And you
take
know
it."
what? I agree with that. Only problem that I have with that is, even though they assembled such a great team, they only won 2 championships.
That's
So,
true. That's
you know
true.
what I mean?
But
So
they
they
ran
won
in.
4 finals and only won 2 of them.
I
Yeah.
understand. But they only won 2 of them.
But they ran into one of the best teams I've ever seen. The year the Spurs just took him to the
Woo.
woodshed.
Good God,
And
yeah.
Dirk deserved to win that one. I feel like
Yeah,
that was just no matter what the
Absolutely.
Heat did,
Yeah.
that Dirk was going to get his one.
And I'm
absolutely
glad
right.
that it worked out that way, in the end, because, I mean, like we were talking about at the very, very beginning of this, because of that, 2 legends in their own rights were able to get the rings, Kidd and Dirk.
What's
Yes.
next, Todd?
Absolutely.
A dynasty in the making.
Oh, us?
Great. Yeah, I mean, you could go that direction, right?
I'm LeBron.
I like the Golden
There's
State
something-
Warriors.
Yeah.
Golden State Warriors. I
Yeah.
mean, they're the only team that's ever eclipsed the great Chicago Bulls in terms of regular season success.
73-9, baby.
Yeah. That season, of course, they did not win the championship, which is ironic.
3-1.
Yeah, 3-1.
Jordan said we won ours.
Yeah, pretty much. But what I'm thinking about here is, man, is there anybody in the West or the East, for that matter, that can actually beat them in a 7-game series? And at the end of this year, I mean, what happens? Does this thing get blown up? Does Kevin Durant leave? I mean, there's a lot of question marks with this.
Okay, straight up. I mean, they were winning before KD got there.
That's a fact.
They can-
but KD
Took them to the
has
next level.
taken them to a whole nother level.
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
Did you see what he did the other night? That 38-point game. He was in some kind of.
He was in the zone.
He was in the zone,
trance,
bro. Man,
Trance, I
because
like that.
everything just kept dropping, and he was shooting. He wasn't even trying to fake dudes. He was just shooting over the top of them. It was so pretty to watch. 38 points. He won that game for them. You know what I mean? Actually, he started that blowout. You know what I mean? It wasn't a blowout at first, and then when he got hot, I knew it was a blowout.
But what about that lead that they blew the other 31 points?
Oh man, that was just
largest in NBA history.
That is
Yeah.
incredible. I
Yeah.
mean, that was an epic meltdown.
That was like, it truly was.
I mean,
and for it to happen at the Oracle,
Yeah.
is just mind
I
blowing.
mean, that is.
Yeah.
I mean, which one's? I guess Falcons Patriots comes to mind as far as just
man.
blowing it.
big time.
Well,
That's the greatest.
Houston
blowing-
Oilers against the Buffalo Bills back in '93.
That's right.
That certainly comes to mind,
I
especially
watched
for
that.
yourself.
Yeah, and especially not for him because he wasn't even born.
That's also true.
No. That
Again, we're showing our age here.
No. That
We're fogies,
Patriots
deal with it.
Patriots Falcon game is going to be the worst choke in history.
Yeah.
Because it happened in the
the Super- in the
championship.
Super
Yeah,
Bowl,
it
yeah.
happened in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst choke in history.
And I mean, even a casual fan could have looked at that game and been like, so we need to run the ball.
Yes.
They should probably run the clock.
Can y'all sign me and let me run the ball, please? I'll run the ball for you. Run something. You know what I mean?
They could have literally. They didn't even have to run the ball. They could have just taken a knee for
the rest of the game.
The rest
The
of
rest
the
of the second half.
and they would have fared better. Okay, but again, let's get back on topic.
Yeah.
The Golden State Warriors. 7-game series. You look at the rest of the teams in the West: the Rockets, the Blazers, the Nuggets. I'll throw the Spurs in there.
You can.
the seventh. I mean, there's a lot of teams that I think could beat them in a few games here and there. But again, is there a team that in the West that can beat them in a 7-game series,
don't think so.
especially with the Warriors having home court advantage?
They got to beat themselves.
Yeah,
Which is what we saw with that 30-point.
Very good point.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And if they do something like that against Houston, they will lose. Because Houston is an opportunistic team. If you melt down like that with them in a few games, they'll take them. You know what I mean? CP3, Harden, them boys will take that, man. And
Yeah.
they are good shooters. They are a good shooting team as well. They'll shoot their eyes out and they'll take them in a 7-game series if they sit back and beat themselves like they did the other night.
I'm in agreement with that because I think Houston is probably the only. Houston bested them in the regular season, 3 games to 1. Anyway, so whenever you think about that, I mean, they had the edge as far as whether or not they can beat them. But again, that's 4 games.
Yeah.
Houston was up on them 3 games to 1 last year in the Western Conference Finals, and still dropped.
Would have hurt CP3 though.
Also true.
Remember, he got hurt.
But I mean, and then he comes back in Game 7, but it's obvious that he's
It was
not the
over
same
with.
player at that point.
It was over with by that point.
So, I mean, we both think Houston. What about you two guys? What do y'all think?
I'll let you go first.
Okay, I'm going to go with Houston.
Okay.
Because I still don't think they can beat them, but I think they have the best shot. But it's got to be what Jevon just said. Beautifully stated, my friend. They have to beat themselves. I don't think Houston's a better team, but if Houston can get in their head, and then I really feel like it's just, I don't want to say it's boring, but the Warriors are going to do it again. I mean, it's going to be a three-peat. Like, I really
what
feel
this is scary. Remind me of. And Trahan gonna love this because it's gonna segue straight to him. It reminds you when you watch a Patriots Super Bowl. It's a sad thing because you just sit there and you be like, these cats gonna win, man. You be like, oh God. You be like, you want to pull your hair out, man.
Yeah.
Like when I was watching this last board Super Bowl, I almost wanted to pull my hair out because I was like, they're gonna win. You know what I mean? I didn't want to.
It's like watching the Titanic. It's 3 hours of, you know what? It's going to hit the iceberg. We know it's going to sink.
Yeah.
We know what the end result is going to be.
Everybody
Jack
knows.
is going to be, hanging on the door. Rose is going to be, sitting there,
Taking up
I'll
way
never
too
let
much
go, Jack. I'll
space.
never let go. Oh.
There was
Here we
room
go.
for Jack on that door.
There was room for Jack on that door.
Speaking of that, Trahan, what you think, man? Because you're right. It was room for
I
Jack.
know, man. Aren't women the worst?
But it's 3 hours of the same thing. You know what's coming.
Grace, if you're watching this, I love you.
Women are awful, dude. Women are just the worst. Anyways, Will, what you got?
Well, I am going to divert my focus to the East. Because I think now that LeBron is not the focal point of the East, they're kind of flying under the radar. Nobody really cares. It's what is the West going to do? Not many people are talking about the East, but I feel like
the East is wide open.
Well,
I
feel like the way
the NBA has kicked the door in on the Eastern Conference right now, and there's at least, of the 8 teams that are there, 4 of them could very easily emerge and go to the finals right now
and get beat.
Oh,
get beat, yeah. But
let me say it this way.
The conference.
Let me say it this way: the top teams in the West, the Warriors, the Nuggets, the Rockets, and the Trailblazers, they're all pretty juggernaut teams.
Yeah.
And then you got the Spurs that are still hanging around.
Yeah.
Pop can never be counted out.
No.
That's a fact.
I think even if the Warriors get to the finals, the road that they have been shown a weakness for the first time in 5 years.
They'll be beat up.
KD has 1 foot out of the door. He's going somewhere else next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say this to you guys before I continue. KD is a cancer.
What?
KD went to the best team, has done nothing but win, and is not happy.
Win and wine.
He gets paid.
Win and wine.
He gets paid more than almost any other of the other superstars. He's got the best supporting cast by a country mile. He wants to leave. He wants to go somewhere else.
He's in the best organization in the NBA as well.
He is a
Steve Kerr puts up with a lot.
He
does a fantastic job of managing all these egos that he's got to deal with.
Trahan, I never disagree with you. But
okay,
I think he is happy. I think he's finally just being able to let out his voice. I don't think it's a sign of not being happy. I think he's just finally getting to tell the NBA and referees and players how he really feels.
I'm not talking about the trash talk. The trash talk is trash talk.
Okay.
I mean, even the best players trash talk.
Right.
Peyton Manning cussed out Jeff Saturday.
Yes, he did.
On camera.
Very much so.
It just happens.
Yeah.
But KD, you can tell that he's searching for something that he's not finding. He's already talking about going to the Knicks, who are a dumpster fire of a franchise, or a dumpster fire of an owner.
Horrible.
He's talking about all these different things. He's done nothing but win. He got to the Warriors, they won. They won again. And they're probably going to win again this year. And yet he still wants to leave. That it doesn't make sense. Yeah. He's got the best power forward in the league.
Yeah.
He had one of the best centers, pure centers, before he got hurt. Mm-hmm. He has the best shooting point guard, and Klay Thompson's no slouch at shooting guard.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay?
No way.
They've got one of the best lineups there has ever been. The dream team of the 2010s.
We ain't seen nothing like that, bro. Yeah.
And they've had 3 years of nothing but boring-ass winning. Like, it's just boring. And you're right. It's just like the Patriots. It's just boring. Except for they do it the way where they're just going to get the best players. And the Patriots do it where they have the best system.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
It's a little different,
but it's still boring. I understand what you're talking about.
Right.
But KD, I'm tired of hearing about him. Like, he and Kyrie Irving are the same way. I'm ready for Kyrie to leave the Celtics.
What?
As a Celtics fan, Kyrie Irving is one hell of a player. But we did a lot better without him last year. And we did a lot better with him before he ever came here. What did he do in Cleveland?
Wait a minute, are y'all 3-0 right now?
Oh, we're against a Victor Oladipo-less Pacers.
Okay.
The Pacers were under 500 after the All-Star
break. They should be 3-0 right
now.
They're the only team that has a position to actually sweep.
They limped
in the first round of the playoffs.
The Pacers limped their way into the playoffs. I'm not going to say anything about the Celtics until they actually play somebody who's at full strength.
Okay, well, let's do that then. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and revert over to the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, please. Let's do that.
Let's go ahead and do that.
All right, well, to answer the first question, I think the Raptors are winning the title this year.
Okay,
I think it's going to be Raptors. I think it's
Raptors.
Kawhi. Yes.
You know, and I'm going to talk about this for just a second. It's very interesting. If you look at both conferences right now, right, the second-seeded Denver Nuggets and the 7th-seeded San Antonio Spurs, the 2nd-seeded Toronto Raptors, and the 7th-seeded Orlando Magic, both 7-seeded teams are the only ones who have a legitimate shot at upsetting.
Okay.
Right.
Because Orlando, they pulled out a miracle in Game 1. They really were right there in Game 2 as well. And they had a very, very good chance of winning last night in Game 3.
Yeah.
The Denver Nuggets, they split the first 2 games. Mm-hmm. San Antonio, I mean, like you say, can't count
count
Pop
Pop
out.
out.
You can't.
You
never
cannot
count.
do that.
Never count Pop.
Never.
Ever.
But again, 7th seed has a legitimate chance of knocking off the 2. Why are you thinking that the Toronto Raptors are going to be able to advance
Because
all the way to the finals?
I think that you have a team that this is the first time they've been together. This is the first time Kawhi's been in the playoffs for 2 years.
Wow.
Okay? The last time Kawhi was in the playoffs, the Warriors did a cheap-ass shot and kicked him in the leg and put him out effectively for the rest of the playoffs.
I remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
And where the Spurs were looking like they were going to take the Warriors down.
They
and then
were
Kawhi
hot.
got hurt.
They were hot.
And then, the rest is history. But Kawhi, I think he's got, you got Serge Ibaka, that dude who's been around the block a time or two.
Yes, indeed.
And you got Kyle Lowry, who, I get it, the Toronto Raptors choke. But now he doesn't have to be that leader.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Kawhi there to be the silent, strong leader. And I think that the Magic, they look past him. I didn't even know the Magic were in the playoffs. Honestly, they probably just look past them, to be honest. And I think once you get past that first round and you eliminate, like, Pop and the Spurs and the Nuggets, I get it. The Spurs, Pop knows how to coach in the playoffs. He's been there a lot. The Nuggets
Right.
are just starting this run of being good.
Yeah.
They're not experienced, and that's why I didn't pick the Bucks to win. It's because they do not have. I don't think Giannis has the experience yet to get them to the finals on sheer will.
How have we been talking about the NBA for 15 minutes, and this is the first mention of the number 1 seed in the East?
And the reason
Real quick.
That's a good point.
This is my prediction.
That's a good point.
Warriors, Bucks in the finals. Warriors 4-1.
I don't know if the Bucks get past the Raptors. That's who I want. And I am a Celtics fan, but this is a lost year. There is no way that this team is going to beat the likes of the Bucks or the Raptors. They're not. They're just not a team. Okay? You got this team looking. Who's going to get traded for AD? Who's going to get traded for AD? Who's leaving for free agency?
This is finna hurt.
Go ahead, bro.
Because I'm finna stick myself in the hand. As a Laker fan, it sucks to say this, but I disagree. I think the Celtics are an excellent team. I thought they were an excellent team last year, and I think that last year they was missing one component, and that component is back this year. And Kyrie, man, and no
Kyrie's
matter
not a winner, man.
I'm telling you, man, no matter what you may think of Kyrie, yes, he is a whiner. He's a big punk, but we've been watching a whiner win championships for a while now. And LeBron James, damn it, all we've been doing.
LeBron is the best player of this generation.
Wait a minute. LeBron wouldn't have a couple of those titles if it wasn't for Kyrie. No, one of them. I'm sorry. He wouldn't have one of those titles if it wasn't for Kyrie Irving.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving is a way better player than we give him credit for. Yes, he cries, but he learned from the biggest crybaby there is. He played with him. You know what I mean? So, therefore, let him cry because he's a winner. And
Let him cry.
Let him cry. And I think it's going to be Celtics Warriors like it should have been last year.
I hope that you are right and I'm wrong, and I will text you and be like, "Hey, man, I was wrong. Let's go."
Yeah, because it should have been that way last year. That's what it should have been. It should have been Celtics versus the Warriors last year. And it would have been if Kyrie would have been in that lineup.
But you know what my biggest problem is with Kyrie? As a Celtics fan, I watch it, and that the Celtics up and downs of this year has turned me off so much that I quit watching them by the end of the season.
I understand.
The reason that I dislike Kyrie Irving on the Celtics is not because he's not good, because we all know he is one of the best finishers, best ball handlers in the league.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah, that's there's no argument.
The thing
there.
that bothers me is he bullied his way out of Cleveland because he wanted to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
The Celtics made him the guy with what on paper was the best supporting cast in the East. By a long shot.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown looked like a stud defensively. Jason Tatum looked like an all-around good player.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon Hayward was one of the best when he played with Utah.
Mm-hmm.
You got Al Horford, who's always around the ball.
I like that guy.
You got, and then you got
Horford is one of the most underrated players in basketball.
Right.
I like him a
Then
lot.
you got Terry Rozier. You got all these role players that are awesome. You got Terry Rozier, Aaron Baines, all these guys who will literally lay on the barbed wire and let Kyrie walk across their back.
Not to mention one of the best coaches in the NBA.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah, straight up.
absolutely.
Yeah, we forget about that.
But
Yeah.
you cannot coach leadership. And he could not galvanize this team. Whenever times got tough, he called people out. Whenever times got tough, he talked about leaving. Whenever times got tough, he didn't want to take responsibility for what was going wrong. The dude cannot be the guy. He won a championship being number 2. He got to where he is being a number 2. They gave him the chance to be a number 1 in one of the most historic basketball towns in the country.
Will, you have
couldn't hang it.
you have an impressive vocabulary for a 17-year-old, man.
Yeah, you know. I'm only 14, so. Hey, what are you going to do?
I think he's going to prove you wrong.
I hope he does.
I think he's gonna
but I
prove
think
you wrong.
even if he wins a championship, he's gone. I think he's just. I think all the people in Boston feel the same way I do, and they turned on him.
They do. They're tired of that whining and crying, even though they put up with Tom Brady.
Right, and that's because
What
we
I'm
also
saying is
had.
they still. I slick that in. But you know what? Boston likes to win, though.
That's true.
Y'all like to win. That's
true.
the reason why y'all put up with Tom Brady. That's the reason why y'all put up with Bill Belichick. That's the reason why you putting up with Kyrie.
It's a winning town.
It's a
It is a
winning
winning
town.
town.
You like championships, and if Kyrie bring one home, y'all gonna be like, Kyrie, please.
You are right. 100%. If he brings on the championship, everything I said will be null and void.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it. Boston in the last 10 years has won a championship in all the 4 major team sports.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bruins, Celtics, Patriots,
and Red Sox.
and the Red
Jesus
Sox.
Yeah.
Christ, man, I didn't even know that.
Like
man.
multiple.
Thank you for
the
blowing my
the
brain
Celtics
right
are
now.
actually the lowest winning team in that town.
Yeah.
They've only won one.
Yeah, well, the Bruins won about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was more recent than 2007.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so throwing this in there real quick, you're saying it's going to be the Raptors.
I think it's going to be the Raptors, Warriors, and the Warriors win it.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. You feel like it's going to be the Bucks.
Right, and it's going to be 4-1 Warriors. The Bucks will win their first home game. They'll win game 3. And the other games will be contested, but the Warriors are going to win pretty easily.
Okay. All right.
I want to add one more thing. I think this is
What a shock.
I think this is the last year of the Warriors dynasty. I think Klay Thompson and KD are gone.
Oh, you're out of your mind if this is a dynasty. Call it a dynasty. It is a dynasty.
I don't know where the Pistons
Okay.
a dynasty.
I say Celtics Warriors. I say that the very physical style of the Celtics will make the Warriors will push them to at least a 4-2 series because Celtics very very physical. They're a very good defensive team. It's gonna get Warriors fit for a little while, and then of course you know what the Warriors do. They just
Shoot the gym.
yeah,
Shoot out of the gym.
They shoot your eyeballs out, and you can't see to play defense anyway. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel.
Okay.
And what about you, TK?
What about you, Tom?
Oh, I get a shot at talking
you
about
do,
this.
yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
I didn't realize. I mean, I didn't know if I was even going to get an opportunity here.
man.
I mean, you're the hot host.
You the host, baby.
You're the hot host.
I'll allow it.
I don't know. I don't know about hot host, but I'm definitely hot.
No doubt, no doubt.
What show would it be if the coach couldn't talk?
I know,
man?
right?
Come on, coach.
Oh no!
What's up?
Give me a shot here.
How do you feel,
Please,
coach?
give me a shot,
I'll give you a
please.
dirt
Who do you think will
Yeah, I
be in
think
the
that
championship?
Okay, so I'm not going to put them in the finals. I'm not going to say that they're going to come out of the East, but I do want to make mention real quick of somebody that for the Raptors that is kind of the unsung hero that nobody talks about whenever they mention them. Everybody naturally goes to Kawhi Leonard. Everybody naturally looks at Kyle Lowry, but Pascal Siakam.
Never heard of her.
Easy for you to say.
He's
What team does he play on again?
the Toronto Raptors.
Oh, okay. No,
I mean, but he plays phenomenal ball as well, and because of all the attention that those other two guys that I mentioned get, he gets a
under the
chance to
radar.
do all kinds of great things for that organization. He's power forward. He's been in the league for 7 years, and he did great against the Magic last night. Heck, I mean, I'll even put up the stat line right now.
Hit it.
All right. Nobody realizes this, but in the playoffs, would you believe that he is averaging 24 points a game?
Whoa.
Man, what the hell?
I mean, that's probably more than Kyrie.
It's it's actually 1 point less than Kyrie Irving. Yet he gets all the name recognition. Think about this for a second. I'm going to name off a few players that have fewer points per game in the playoffs so far
This is interesting.
than Siakam.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's blowing my mind.
Listen to this. D'Angelo Russell.
Okay.
Okay. Russell Westbrook.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Jimmy Butler. Joel Embiid.
What?
Yeah. Ben Simmons.
These are big names, man.
Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
All these guys are averaging fewer points than Sakeem.
Are you Jimmy Butler less than?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That-
So I mean, that's
okay.
just to me. I found that just to be a very interesting stat
And this
line
is the starting power forward for
for the
Raptors.
Toronto Raptors.
One of us has heard of him.
Nobody's heard of him, but he's going in there and he's killing it right now.
Fine, TK.
Probably because
So-
I'm falling asleep during Raptor games.
I mean,
Maybe
it's
that's
just
probably what it is.
there's a reason for that. I mean, we don't really care about the Raptors. I mean, we're in Louisiana. They're way the hell up there in Toronto, Canada.
I know, right?
But don't sleep on this guy. I'm just saying. Just,
And he could be a major factor in them
Exactly.
actually going to the finals.
Exactly.
That's
But I mean, as much as you look around the Eastern Conference and everything, and all the talented teams that are out there, Boston's finally playing like a team now in the postseason.
Yes.
So good for them on that.
maybe they've been saving it all for the postseason.
It could very well be. I mean,
I hope they
some
prove me
teams
wrong.
just flip a switch whenever the postseason gets here.
Yeah.
That's what LeBron did
I mean,
almost every year.
Every year. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it just kind of happens that way. But it's just, and I know this is a little bit of a cop out, but I can't see anybody. I mean, I love what the 76ers have.
It's fun.
They got a fun.
Joel
suck.
Embiid is one of my favorite players in the league.
He sucks.
He's fun.
He's
He's a cool dude.
He talks shit.
But I
and he
don't
gets
think that-
school.
But did you see him on?
he and Ben Simmons do not function well together.
I don't think Ben
is the
Simmons
thing.
functions well with anybody. He just his game is so weird.
It is
It's very weird.
The game is so
but
weird.
look what Ben Simmons did whenever Joel Embiid was not in the lineup
That's true.
on Thursday in Game 3.
He kicked
He
butt.
tore it up.
Yeah.
But you put Embiid in the lineup, yeah, he's going to get your points. Yeah, he's going to, do everything that you need him to do. But Ben Simmons struggles a little bit whenever
but
he's in the lineup.
I feel like Ben Simmons sort of had some motivation because that other guy, nobody, Mick, who's his name, I was talking smack about him. He's like, what did he say? He was like, he's like, if you catch him outside of a fast break, he's not that good. And then Ben Simmons was like, I did. And he came out and tore it up.
Yes,
He
yes.
came out and tore it up.
So, I mean, I have to go with who I feel like represents the MVP. And it's obviously coming from the East, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, dude.
The Greek freak.
I love
Greek
that guy.
freak.
Yeah.
I like the freak.
I've
I like
never
the Greek
seen a player like him before. Never.
It's like they
There's-
made him in a lab.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like they made him in a lab.
He's
Yeah,
in his own. He's
he's-
in his own category.
Yeah, I mean, it's like somebody, who, like you said, made him in a lab. He is basketball's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
They can actually move.
Yeah, he's kind of like Calvin Johnson, like in year 3.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's a
Like,
great call. That's a phenomenal
Yeah,
call.
like you could not have built a better.
Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
I'm putting them in the finals, and yeah, I think
fire
it's
lately, man.
yeah.
What
I
you
mean,
been doing? Just sit
I've
there
been,
watching
I've
sports.
been saying that. I haven't been on the podcast in like a year, so I just been saying.
Yeah, man.
get them out of your system now.
yeah.
Yes. And I feel like it's going to be the Golden State Warriors. What a surprise of it all. And it's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks. I think the Bucks can win 2 of those games. I think they can steal one on the road.
Okay.
Make
I
it
think that
competitive.
and I think that they can, obviously win one in Milwaukee as well.
Milwaukee
But I
can
just-
get there.
And I think that Giannis Antetokounmpo is the only player that has the length to legitimately defend Kevin Durant.
Right. He would have
It's-
to.
But I think whenever it comes down to the finals, it's got to be Steph's show because the the Bucks are not going to have anybody that can legitimately defend him.
Yeah,
It's true. If you shut down Katie, you still got to worry
And
about
see,
Steph.
that's
Yeah.
the beauty
Yeah.
of that squad, and that's why you cannot beat
Correct.
them because KD won't mind taking a back
It's
seat.
a pick your
He'll
poison
cry
kind of
about
thing.
it.
Yeah,
He'll cry about it.
And here's
A
the
little
backup
bit.
part to where I'm going with that. I think because of the fact that KD does not get to be the hero in that finals, he's going to say, you know what, I'm done. I'm out of here.
I'm gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Steph's team, apparently.
apparently.
I'm done.
It's been
It's Steph's team.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Steph's team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that is what is going to be the final straw. Yeah, he's going to get another ring, but he's not going to get the MVP award in it all because of the job that Giannis is going to do on him.
Hell, he wouldn't have got the MVP last year if it wasn't for the fact that he tore it up Game 3 and took out Cleveland. Because man, when he went on that tear game 3, because they were going to lose game
that.
3. Yeah,
they were
going to lose that, and then I don't know. Once again, that zone, man, whatever that is, Kevin Durant got,
For sure.
man, he scares me. Because you look in his eyes, man, it's scary, man. Because when you look in his eyes, he has that focus like
He's got
MJ.
that killer instinct.
Yes, like
He
MJ
does.
used to have, man. Like you can see it, and he just go on. Oh, stop. Okay, he go on that tear like MJ used to do, man. Like when it was time to take over the game, Jordan had no problem with just, you know what, this is the Jordan show.
Yeah,
This
he
is
has
my
that
show.
Truly.
He has that like dead eye stare like Bran Stark.
Yes, man.
Just
And-
stares
That's also a great
Stares
comp.
through
Yeah.
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 He's vicious, man.
I can't wait for Game of Thrones.
I know.
Come on.
Yeah.
Just total diversion.
Nerds.
This is now the Game of Thrones podcast.
We could do a whole freaking podcast on Game of Thrones, I think.
I would exclude myself.
Yeah.
guys.
That's okay. That's okay.
So, Jevon, how do you feel about Daenerys Targaryen? You know, what do you feel like she's gonna play in this?
Like, yeah, I think she'll get drafted number 1 overall by Westeros.
Yes. You know one of Demarius Thomas' nickname was Demarius Targaryen when he was in
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. When he was in
I like
Denver,
that.
he had 2. It was Demarius Prime because you know when he
Megatron and
because of
Demarius
Megatron.
Prime, I like
then
that.
He had Demarius Prime, and then it was Demarius Targaryen.
That's so cool.
That is really neat.
Big shout out to Brandon Purner, my boy. He gave him that nickname, and then gotta give Brandon his props, man. And I'm gonna tag you in this podcast, and you better tag us, man. You got a lot of fans, brother.
You gotta share.
Share us.
You gotta share, like, comment, and we'd love to hear what you guys have to say on what our opinions are as well.
Hey, you can
we
even
all
blow
we all
us on
know
your
that
show.
we all know that all of our opinions hold merit.
Yeah.
You know, our predictions come to fruition
Every time.
every time.
every time.
It's uncanny. It truly is.
Oh, it really is. It's amazing, man.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure Alshon Jeffrey heard me when I went on my Saints spiel and he dropped the ball.
Very good possibility. Can't quite put my finger on how that happened, but
Neither could he.
You know how predictions always come true? We'll just say, New England's going to win another Super Bowl. And then, hey, he's like,
Wow, Will's a
Will
genius.
was genius.
How did he know that?
How did you figure that one out,
Spoke
Bill?
it into existence.
How do you figure that out?
oh my gosh. Okay, so you're talking about football. Let's switch gears. This is the part we have been waiting for.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Draft day is coming.
No.
It's coming, man. It's coming. Whether you want it or not, it's coming.
Less than a week. Less than a week.
You know, this is what's so interesting. I mean, the NFL dominates everything to the point to where the schedule being announced is a tremendous ordeal. It's a televised event.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Because nobody cares about the NBA or MLB schedule release. There's just so many games, they
It's
don't
just
care.
like, okay, who do we play in game 58? How about 134?
And you didn't even mention hockey.
The NHL playoffs are going on right now. And it's been crazy as all get out there.
Yeah.
Hockey.
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 Hockey. But, yeah, seriously, man. We're doing a very unique take on this, like I mentioned at the top of the show. Yes, timeout. Do you need to go use the potty?
No, I wanted to tell you
Oh.
that how special is it that next weekend we will get the NFL draft, the release of Avengers Endgame, and a new episode of Game of Thrones in a 3-day span.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because it's going to be episode 3 is going to be the Battle of Winterfell.
Technically a 5-day span.
It's my
Yes.
groceries,
Yes.
dude. This is going to be
Oh my
amazing.
God.
Oh my
There's
groceries.
going to be
you
a
know.
lot of ODs happen because there's going to be some overdoses happening right there. That's too much for people
too much
to deal
awesome.
with. Yeah.
Too much
Well,
awesome.
just think about this.
I love
you
that.
know, in Avengers Endgame, half the people who are already dead, then most of them are probably going to die that are left. And then in Game of Thrones, you know at least 2 or 3 major characters are going to die in the Battle of Winterfell. And oh my God.
The question is,
Hopefully nobody dies in the draft.
And
The question is who and how.
And then there's going to be a few teams' dreams that are going to die after the
Oh,
draft.
yeah, absolutely.
The Giants.
Yeah.
My dreams will be dead, just like the Game of Thrones characters because they're gonna do stupid things.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna happen. I know.
I know my dream.
Notice how we're not really dropping any spoilers on Game of Thrones.
Try not to.
We're doing our best not to
And
go that
then
direction.
Bran Stark's going to go, I know that was going to happen because I'm the three-eyed raven.
Well, I'll tell you what,
I
man.
saw your tears
A
many
for
moons
accent
ago.
as well.
I don't know
I'll give you
crap.
an A for accent.
I don't know crap about Game of Thrones, but I do know this. I know that John Elway's gonna crap on us again by drafting another 6'7" piece of crap of a quarterback.
Well, let's think about this for a second.
so
okay?
mad already.
How about this?
I'm mad, man. I'm already. It ain't even happened yet, but I feel it's gonna happen. I can feel it, man. I can feel it.
You'll take great delight in knowing that there's no 6'7" quarterbacks in this draft.
Tyree Jackson.
Thank God.
Tyree
He's
Jackson.
not going to be at the top of the draft.
But they'll draft him like
Yeah,
fifth
we'll
round.
draft
and they'll
him
make him a
fifth round.
starter.
That's better. That's better than going Paxton Lynch in the first round or Brock Osweiler in the first round.
Let's
It's
sit him
better
behind
than that.
Flacco. He's gonna be great when he leaves, man. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna let go Flacco, and we're gonna have another 6'7" great quarterback, right?
I think Flacco's
Hey.
going to do well.
Put it like this: Lego Flacco.
Oh yeah.
Lego my Flacco.
That kind of rhymes.
I don't know that y'all know
Sort
this,
of, yeah.
but I've been squeezing this ever since.
Dora the
we started talking about
Explorer.
the
You
draft.
mean?
Dora the Explorer.
But if I had my GM hat, let's go. We finna do this.
Okay, well, we got to set it up.
Exactly.
We are the GM right now.
Okay, so we're gonna, since y'all are drafting first technically here, all right. Screw the Cardinals. Josh, your 49ers are up here.
Yeah.
Number dose.
Numero dos. What are you thinking? What are you looking to get here with the second overall pick in the NFL draft for your San Francisco 49ers?
All right now, okay, so I'm the GM for the Niners. I'm Lynch, I guess.
You are John Lynch.
And we're on the clock. We're all debating. Oh, phone ringing. Hold on, guys. Hello. Yes. Okay. Tempting. Very tempting. Okay. Yes. All right. All right. We still got about 14 minutes left on this clock. We will get back to you momentarily. Thank you. Okay. All right, guys. Look, that was the Redskins, and they want to trade up to 2. Looks like they want Nick Bosa because the Cardinals just got Murray. All right. So they want to offer us this, and this, and this, right?
Wow. Okay.
Well, I think let me make another phone call here. It's the New York
See if you can
Giants.
sift the Bears like we did a couple
So
years ago.
I'm calling the Giants.
Okay.
Pick up, Giants. Hello, pick up, Giants.
What, John?
Hey, so real quick, look, I have a really, really, really tempting offer from the Redskins.
We already traded Beckham. I have nothing left.
Right, but listen, look, like we are willing to trade down to 6.
Okay.
All right, but you have to give us your second rounder.
Okay.
And probably a second rounder next year.
No deal.
For the second overall pick. I mean, how bad do you want Nick Bosa?
Not that bad.
Not that bad.
No, not that bad.
Okay, so are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
You guys a slacker.
Okay. Well. Wow. Bye. Okay. All right, guys. Look, I thought the Giants were probably going to take that, but let me go. All right. I'm gonna guys.
We don't make trades that make
we
sense.
don't look.
Obviously.
Okay, so look. All right, guys. Look. All right, so we're all in the 49ers organization here. Okay. So the last 4 drafts, we have nothing but linemen. Okay. I'm tired of boring ass linemen.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
so we had. A few years ago, we had DeForest Buckner. We took in the top 10. Then we
He's
took
developed nicely though, man.
Then we took Solomon Thomas, right? And
Eric Armstead, yeah,
we
Eric
took
Armstead
and then
too.
Armstead before that, and then last year we took an offensive lineman. This year we're going to take another lineman.
Yeah.
But look, Nick Bosa is a talent. Somebody wants him. I'm going to call the screw it. I'll call the Lions. All right, we've only got about 8 minutes left on this clock here, guys.
Okay, yeah.
Hello?
Hey, this is Josh Lynch from the 49ers. We're sort of gauging your interest in the number 2 overall pick. What are you willing to give us?
We're really not looking to trade up right now. I'm just not.
Bye. Okay. All right. Fine. All right. Look. All right. Look. The plan was here to trade down and then maybe get a receiver, maybe a Metcalf. But since we're here at the second overall pick, and nobody wants it, let me. I wonder if
Takes 2 to tango, buddy.
I wonder if maybe the Broncos would want to trade up. But
Hell no.
Something.
They just sent a page of facts that said no.
Facts.
Just said hell no.
Only because who we want, I think, will still be there.
Whoa.
That's the only reason why.
Oh, phone's ringing. Hello.
What would you be willing to take for the second overall pick?
What team is this?
This is Todd Quinn of the Detroit Lions.
Quince. Okay, all right. So we're going to want your first round pick, which is number
8.
8. Okay, we will take 8.
You should know that, Lynch.
And then we probably your third rounder this year and your first for next year.
Dang.
It's a little steep.
We're talking about Nick Bosa here. He's better than his brother.
We just signed Trey Flowers. What do we need to do that for?
Okay, maybe if that's not what you want, but look, second overall pick, you have a pick of the litter, buddy. Pick of the litter.
This is getting deep, man.
It really is.
So once again, we want 8th this year. We want a 3rd this year, and your first next year. Look, you guys probably going to win the Super Bowl, so it'll probably be the 32nd overall pick. So look,
Don't patronize me.
just think. Come on. What do you got? Look, we got 2 minutes left on this clock, and if you don't, we're gonna draft Bosa right now.
Look here. Okay, we'll just put it like this. Okay, take it or leave it. All right. We'll give you. We'll move from 8 to 2nd.
Okay.
All right. We'll give you our 4th rounder this year and our 2nd rounder next year.
That's a no. 49ers, go ahead, put it in. Nick Bosa. Two overall.
I can dig that.
All right.
I can dig that.
All right.
Nick B.
I feel like
we
that's
go.
about as what John Lynch does. He calls a bunch of people and they tell him no.
Because of OBJ.
That could be accurate.
I was willing to deal. Okay.
Yeah, but that was not a good offer, Todd. I was not going to take that.
Well, I mean,
Because you dropped. No way, bro. No way. So 49ers select.
I
Nick
wasn't
Bosa.
willing to mortgage the future to move up for a defensive lineman. That's
You're
just
right.
wasn't
You're right.
happening.
Or, I mean, it didn't have to be him. We didn't draft him and give him
Right,
trading
but I mean,
rights.
there's nobody at the top of this draft that I'm willing to mortgage the entire future for.
Yeah,
we need assets.
Just think about this. The Niners have had the 2nd overall pick the past 2 drafts.
That is true.
And just think about the caliber of drafts these have been.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go over to you, Will. All the top 5 picks have now taken place, rattling off here. I mean, Kyler Murray's gone. Nick Bosa's gone. I mean, there's a surprise that has happened here. Okay?
Who's fallen to us?
We're going to say Josh Allen has fallen over to you.
See, that's not what I wanted to hear.
Okay? All right. How about... Let's just go ahead and talk about... Okay. Pretend hypothetically that things have worked out in your favor at this point.
Okay.
Okay? You're on the clock, 6th overall. Who are you looking at? Screw Gettleman.
All right,
Screw
Gettleman. What do I want?
You are running the show
All
right now
I'm
for
running
the
the
Giants.
show. Okay, so obviously Murray and Bosa went 1 and 2.
Uh-huh.
That leaves the Jets, the Bucks, and the Raiders picking in front of us.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Now, me as a casual fan have heard people talk about how the Raiders are, if Quinnen Williams drops to them, they're taking him. So he's gone. Okay, Josh Allen probably going to be taken by the Jets. If not, then he'll be there.
Assuming then Devin White goes to the Bucks.
Well, see, that's the person I want. I want Devin White. Okay, and thinking about
Homer.
how Homer, I'm an Oklahoma Sooners fan.
Yeah, but you're still in Louisiana.
So,
LSU. I get that, but
well, Beckham
but
fan too, and he's gone.
Devin White is a special talent.
Yeah, he is.
I mean-
And but look at what Gettleman had when he was in Carolina with Kuechly, and how much success they had with a stud middle linebacker to build that defense around.
Let's put it like this, and I'm sorry to cut you off, and I'm just going to throw this out here real quick to make it more relatable for you. Mm-hmm. When you think Devin White, think P. Willie.
Yes.
Think Patrick Willis.
He is one of the most, and the holes in Devin White's game are mental, which can be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
His physical skills off the charts.
Yeah.
Dude, dude's a stud. And so I think if if Devin White is there, I think the Giants should run to the podium and get him.
There it is.
If he's there, we'll see, but that's who I want at 6. I don't want Haskins because as good as Haskins seems to be, it doesn't have enough tape. Like he played for 1 year for a really good team, and they fell short at the end of the year.
Kind of makes you wonder a little bit also if he's a product of the system,
Right.
as well.
I mean, we saw
Urban Meyer. He had Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow had phenomenal success at
Right.
Florida. What do you do in the NFL?
Even more recent, J.T. Barrett,
Also true, yeah.
Terrell Pryor.
I mean, there's some issues
Braxton
where
Miller.
yeah. I mean,
Cardale
the
Jones,
only exception to the rule here, where Urban Meyer's been concerned, where quarterbacks go, believe it or not, Alex Smith.
Yeah, with the Utes.
Yeah, that's the only exception.
And Alex Smith has had a rocky start.
But he's still.
did.
He's still.
I mean,
really
is he
good.
ever going to play again?
He's really good.
That's also
I don't
a
know, but
question.
I mean, much respect to Alex Smith, man.
He may not
he's been
play
a
this
consummate
year.
professional.
He may not play this year, but he's coming back.
I don't know. He had an insurance policy on that contract that makes it fully guaranteed if he got hurt. So he's just going to sit there and collect a check from the
Smart
Redskins.
Okay, so you're going Devin White.
Devin White with the 6th pick, if he's there. Devin White or Quentin Williams are my 2 favorite players in this draft.
Okay. So
But I think Quentin Williams is not going to last till 6.
I don't think that he is either, and that's kind of where I come in with the Detroit Lions.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay.
Where I'm going. I mean, it is ridiculously unlikely that, or there's virtually no chance that Quentin Williams, as much as I would love to see him sitting there at 8, it's not going to happen.
No, I don't
I mean,
think
the
he
odds.
makes it past
I mean,
6.
it's incredibly unlikely. I mean, if he gets past,
Unless a video of him smoking a bong comes out.
Or maybe,
like Laramie, like
yeah, like Tunsil.
like Tunsil, yeah.
Or I mean, maybe you could have just accepted a trade. You could have had whatever you wanted.
Exactly.
Maybe he would have traded up. Yeah.
If only.
Look,
Missed your
I mean,
opportunity.
Quentin Williams is probably the only player that I could sensibly trade up for, but I would not have traded up to number 2 to get him, and I certainly would not have given up the kind of ammunition you were talking about because I need
buddy.
I need players. I need players. The Lions need players. So Quentin Williams,
you as a
yeah,
GM.
the defensive tackle from Alabama, he's kind of my dream scenario. Josh Allen, I mean, that would be nice as well, but I'm going a different direction here, and I'm thinking the Detroit Patriots,
Yes.
because that's kind of what this is all going down to at this point, and
Because of the coach?
Well, the coach and the GM.
the
are
coach,
both
the
from Patriots
GM, and
organization.
they're patriating a lot of different things here.
Yeah, I mean, they brought Trey Flowers in.
That's a verb now.
It kind of sort of is, yeah.
That's what happens
So
when you
what-
win.
Whoa! I'm getting a call.
Oh, man.
It's the Falcons.
Where?
It's the Falcons.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
and we'll move.
Trade.
No. Sweeten it.
How wrong
Okay.
is that, right?
Look. No. Okay. All right, guys. The Falcons are on the line right now, and they're willing to move from 14 to 8, give us their 2nd rounder this year, and their 4th rounder next year.
You said the Falcons?
The Falcons.
Okay.
To move from 8 to 14.
Ask him for Julio.
Yeah. If they got Dave Gettleman,
I
they'll do
don't
it.
want to get hung up on.
They got Dave Gettleman, they'll do it.
Yeah, they gonna hang up in your
Sure.
face. They gonna hang up in your face talking about Julio.
Ask him for Freeman.
You don't want Freeman. Ask him for Grady Jarrett.
You know what? If you throw in Trufant, maybe. Okay, that's not happening. All right. Well, okay, we'll go ahead and do it. We'll go ahead and do it. All right, I'm moving. Okay, okay, you guys are on the clock. You guys are on the clock. All right. All right. Cool. Thanks. Bye.
Hi, Adam Schefter here. We just got a trade. Looks like the Lions have traded down to the 14th spot, and the Falcons have moved up to 8. We're not sure about the details, but back to you, Boomer.
He retired.
Back to you, Mel Kiper. Back to you, Marshall Falk.
Oh, man. John Lynch, you are struggling.
Rough.
Oh, man. All right, so you traded down to 14. Mr. Quinn.
What you got? Cuz?
Where you
That
got 14?
means next in line, actually,
That's
are the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are now on the clock here
Okay.
at the 10th pick.
Man, let me tell you something.
What you thinking?
Easily, I would have went with Kyle Murray because he's the opposite of everything that we ever had at QB.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, he's mobile. He's not tall. He can actually run and throw. God, that would have been a dream. But we know he's not.
Do you think Baker and Drew are kind of changing
They are.
the thought of
Yes,
like
they are.
how much height
Kind of
matters?
have to,
Yes, they
especially
are.
when you can alter Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell. That's right.
You
Yeah,
have
Russ,
to
yeah.
start kind of throwing this prototype body style out the window a little bit, or at least not looking at it as, the end all be all.
Yeah. So wait, are you talking about Russell Wilson, the highest paid player in the NFL right now? Is that what you're talking
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hey, remember that week that I thought he may go to New York?
about? Yeah. Oh man, that would have been beautiful, right?
New York won't give him that kind
We
of
did a
money.
segment on the show with that in
All right,
regarding
so
that.
Javon.
So here we are, man. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, well, we can't get Kyler Murray. All the other great players that I would like to go is gone. But there's a spot on our team that I would like to fill.
What you got?
Do you remember, when we won the Super Bowl 50?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
You
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
When we had something called the no-fly zone, when you couldn't throw on us at all.
Yeah, it was
Right, right,
pretty
right.
good defense.
That was
Yeah.
an amazing secondary, man. You couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it's kind of like when the Seahawks beat you guys. They had the really good.
Yeah. So I kind of been thinking about that a lot lately, and
Okay.
I'm thinking to myself, there's a product out there that went right to a school that's right down this way, LSU. His name is Greedy Williams.
It's a good name for a cornerback, right?
It is greedy.
It's such a good name.
Because you want somebody greedy in your secondary.
That's right.
You want them to snatch everything that come flying out that sky.
He's from Shreveport.
He is.
Yeah.
And I would love to see him right there with Chris Harris Jr., with Bradley Roby.
Yeah.
I would like to see them boys out there wreaking havoc, making our secondary just as dangerous as our front part.
Okay.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
Wow.
I mean, we
Wow.
Yeah, because we got Nick, not Nick, we got Bradley Chubbs up there, set the rookie sack record, right? Von Miller still at his prime. We coming off the edge on you. We got you. You know what I mean? We still got Shaq Barrett up that way. He's still hanging around. I mean, we're good. We just need to get that secondary back to where we need it to be. And I think Greedy would be a good addition, especially with the veteran Chris Harris and with Bradley Roby. I think he would be a good addition to our secondary.
All right.
I would take him first round.
There you go.
I would. You don't want him?
Todd thinks it's a reach.
Todd, you don't want him?
It's not a reach because that's who I was eyeballing with the trade.
Jevon wins the game.
Yeah, I'm looking for Super Bowl, baby.
Now you know you shouldn't have traded back. You should have traded up.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
I'm looking for Super Bowl, baby.
I totally get that.
That's why everybody's going to draft Drew Lock.
He will too. Don't say that.
My thought process was, and I'll just be real with you. I mean, you're going against the likes of, an aging but still dangerous Aaron Rodgers. You've got Trubisky who is starting to develop now that he's under Brad Nagy. Then then you still have to contend with the Vikings and Kirk Cousins. And that team. They've got a couple of really dangerous receivers in their own right with Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen.
And Kirk can dish the ball.
So, I mean,
In the regular season.
Yeah. My thought is, I mean, I've upgraded the pass rush here, with signing Trey Flowers. I've still got snacks in the middle, from your New York Giants. I would have loved to have gotten Darius Big Play Slay on one side and Greedy Williams on the other.
See, you thinking like
Yeah,
I'm
I mean, that's what I'm
thinking.
thinking.
Yeah.
Because the best thing that a pass rush can get are two corners that can
lock
force the
it
quarterback to
down.
hold the ball a little longer.
Yes.
And at the same time, you have that pass rush upgraded. The quarterbacks can get rid of the ball quicker than what he wants to.
Right.
That allows them fewer time to have to cover your receivers.
Well, it
And
looks
both
like
of those guys can play the ball very, very well, Slay and Greedy Williams.
the Denver Broncos GM Jevon Miller
He just
snubbed
snubbed me.
He just killed
In your face, Elway.
He just killed your dreams like Samuel Tarley's going to be killed this week.
Yeah, I mean, so what I'm thinking right now, I mean, I have to think about it like this, because with this happening like this, there's been a lot of defensive players that have flown off the board here, especially in the trenches. Not real happy about that, because I would have loved to have gotten a real blue chip caliber player to fill in there, either inside or outside. I'm not really feeling, any of these guys that are standing there in that spot right now at 14. Okay. So my thought process is Marvin Jones is coming off a season-ending injury. I love what Galladay brings to the table, but I'm looking for somebody that can maybe make Marvin Jones slide inside and find myself another outside receiver to go along with Galladay. So my thought is I'm looking for somebody that's got the exact same metrics as Megatron.
Ooh, Metcalf.
I'm looking at DK Metcalf.
Oh, man.
You think he's there at 14?
I think he could very well be there at 14.
I think
because of the run that the trenches are going to have. You're going to have Kyler Murray that's going to be at number one, most likely. You're going to have all these defensive linemen that are going to fall in there at the top. You're going to have, Greedy Williams he's already snuck into the top 10.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be another quarterback that's going to sneak in there, maybe even two, if Locke and and Haskins go. So I'm looking at Miami and I'm looking at Washington at those two spots. I'm looking at them. So my thought now is, we've got the best receiver that's just slid to us. What could Stafford do with these guys lined up there? I think Hawkinson would be a phenomenal pick as well, who's got a lot of comparisons to Gronkowski. So I mean, but I think he's gone now. I think he's gone. So I'm thinking DK Metcalf with the 14th overall pick. Okay, and this is the scouting report on the guy. 6'3", 228. He runs a 4.33 40.
That's a big guy. That's a fast big guy.
Yeah, he's got a 40-inch vertical, and he's got 27 on the bench.
Yeah. That's not bad.
See,
as a receiver, that's ridiculous.
But
So
have you watched the tape?
have I watched the tape? Yeah,
The guy plays stiff,
he does play stiff.
which makes me think that
There's
if you have
some
1.5% body fat, which you need body fat to stay healthy,
You do need
the guy's
body
going to get
fat.
hurt.
He's already had a neck injury, and I think that is part of the reason why he slides a little bit.
Yeah, that's a big reason
Yeah.
why he slides.
Yeah.
They might have to fatten him up a little bit.
They have to.
They have to fatten
I
him
think
up.
I think his teammates better than he is, but that's
Well,
just me.
He gotta eat some
There's
donuts.
plenty of great restaurants over there in Motown. I'm sure we can probably fatten him up a little
Fatten
bit.
him up, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Give him some donuts.
Get him ready for the winter.
And, I mean, the guy makes some ridiculous catches.
He
There's no
does.
question
His
about
catch
that.
radius.
Yeah, it's off the charts. It is very Megatronish. Very Megatronish.
But Megatron,
He does have some concentration lapses. That's very coachable.
But that's
though.
Ole Miss. I think
That-
the whole
yeah.
town that Ole Miss is in has concentration lapses.
Yeah.
Eli, don't listen to him.
Hey, Eli's from Louisiana, so
It's gonna be really tough for a lot of these cornerbacks to actually be able to cover him. He's gonna
be hard. He's gonna be hell.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're looking at jump ball situations, a lot of 50-50 balls. Galladay can do the same thing.
He's gonna be hell.
I mean, I want somebody that can, replace the production that the Golden Tate had. And we got a third-round pick for him in the trade with Philly last year.
Good.
So, I feel like there's too much upside to being able to get him. I think it's a home run swing, and I'm swinging for the fences here as Bob Quinn. Why not? I've gotten assets at other, I've gotten another second round pick because of the trade, and I've gotten a third round pick next year as well. I feel good, so I'm going with DK Metcalf. wide
GM
receiver.
Todd Knight.
So
My idea at 2 was to trade back to one of you schmucks, and then trade back again.
And then this schmuck took my guy.
And then I was gonna get Metcalf. Hopefully, later. In the draft.
Yeah.
You know why I wasn't gonna go with a trade, because I felt like I liked where we were sitting, and I felt like Greedy would still be on the board. I felt like people was gonna overlook him, and they weren't
You didn't
gonna
want to be too greedy for Greedy.
Yeah, I didn't want to be too greedy for Greedy. I felt like he'll still be there. I knew Kyler wasn't. I mean, that's everybody's dream. We salivating over this dude.
He's all right. I think he's slightly overrated.
I mean, he is overrated.
People said that about
but
Baker Mayfield a year ago too.
No,
though.
well,
I buy coming out of college. I buy Baker a lot
more.
quicker than I buy Kyler.
Well, when you and I were at the draft that I let you into last year, I mean, the whole crowd was shocked when they picked Baker.
It's
Yeah,
true.
oh,
We
yeah.
all thought it was gonna be Darnold.
They shocked everybody.
All thought it was gonna be Darnold.
They shocked everybody. But I just felt that I was. It's funny that we were thinking on the same line, but I was thinking Greedy. You know what I mean? I was like, man, he would be a good addition to the no-fly zone, and I think he'll be there. I felt like he would be there, and he was.
If he doesn't go at 8, I think he would. I don't know if he'll go at 10, but I do definitely see and agree with your thought process.
Yeah, and I think Elway might be thinking the same thing. He's just Elway gonna be praying, and he might even trade up. Elway might give up some stuff, man, and trade up just to grab him, because we don't need another edge rusher, man. We good, man.
Yeah, you're definitely good on the edge.
we good on the edge, man.
And I mean, I feel like the 49ers just got the best player in the draft, right? Nick Bosa. Everybody says he's the best player.
Oh, Nick a beast.
So I'm happy with it. The reason I was trying to trade back, just as a fan, I just find it a little boring that for 5 straight
years you're going
lineman.
Yeah, I know.
So,
man.
Hey, that line's gonna be good eventually.
Yeah. I mean, eventually, Armstead is decent at best.
But you gotta think,
Buckner has shown that he was worth it. Solomon Thomas, 2nd overall pick, well, really 3rd overall pick, but he hasn't shown much. And then how can you really evaluate an offensive lineman after 1 year? You don't really know. So it's just like I just wanted a splash. You
wanted something fresh.
Yeah, I wanted something sexy.
Yeah, sexy pick.
Yeah, I want something sexy like Jevon.
No, man.
You know what I mean?
I'm sexy,
look at him, man.
I know it.
Are you talking about him or his pick?
I'm talking about him as a person.
Oh, yeah. Josh, you know how to make me feel good, brother.
I'm glad that you clarified that for all of our viewers and listeners out there. Do you guys have anything else to add before we close the show?
I have another pick.
Oh, that's right!
How dare you?
Oh, we didn't know you had
Giants had 2 picks because they traded Odell.
As a Cowboys fan, I didn't want him to have that 17th pick.
no, he do get
so
another pick.
yes, all right, fine. You're back on, Will. What do you got? What do you got,
on the
man?
clock.
All right, so we know who's going to be there and who's not going to be there around 17, which is where the Giants are picking. What I would like for them to do is to trade back and get more capital for next year for when they trade up and take the quarterback of the future, because it ain't going to be a 17 here. Mm-hmm. Now, there's 2 guys that I'm going back and forth between who I want to draft. Now, obviously, this year's pretty much going to be a rebuilding year for the Giants.
Just as a refresher, who did you take at 6?
At 6, I took Devin White, middle line or inside linebacker.
Okay.
but
He can play all 3 linebackers.
Right, well, we run a weird 3-4 system where parts are interchangeable.
Right.
I mean, Deion Buchanan is a safety and played linebacker in this system in Arizona.
Wow.
So if you got somebody athletic like White, he could pass rush, he could cover, he could tackle, all that. So that's why we did that. The second guy that I want to take. Now, I'm going with my gut because I think this guy is going to be a stud, but he's not going to be a stud this year. I'm taking with the 17th overall pick, Jeffrey Simmons out of Mississippi State. This guy,
Oh, okay.
What position?
he's a defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle,
He
yeah.
is a defensive tackle. He played in the SEC, which we all know is a very stout offensive and defensive lineman.
Certainly.
He's place to play.
I mean, it's the best conference in
Right.
college football. I mean,
Debatable, but they're the best for offensive and defensive
I
linemen.
thought you were
for
going to
sure.
go with a center.
Well, we don't need a center. We got our center back. John Jalapio is back from his torn pec, and then we got another guy, Spencer Pooley, who we signed.
Okay.
Who's pretty
All right,
good.
well, then you so Jeffrey.
Now, we do need a right tackle, but I think there's no – if Jonah Williams is gone, there's no tackle worth taking here. So,
Okay.
I'm taking Jeffrey Simmons. He's a defensive tackle. He tore his ACL right before the combine. So he has no measurables, and he will not play probably at all this year.
Do you not think that Jawan Taylor, the offensive tackle from Florida, would be sitting?
Well,
there?
I think Jawan Taylor's going to be gone. I think
Okay.
some team in the 10 to 15 range is going to take him. Probably the Bengals, if I had to guess. I don't think he gets past
That
the
makes
Bengals.
sense.
So you looking at this dude like
I'm
his
looking at
productivity
right.
in college
Well,
and like he'll
what
be-
I've heard, and obviously I'm just Will Trahan. I'm not a scout. I'm not a GM.
You're the beard, okay?
But
we're with you.
I
dude.
do
We're with
listen
you.
instead of music. I listen to podcasts all the time.
You said the Bengals. They sing "Walk Like an Egyptian."
That's very true.
Whatever.
It's the Bengals, not the
Bengals.
Bengals.
They're the Bungles. The Bungles.
Walk like an Egyptian.
All right.
Hey, that's a,
That's me
please
singing. That's not the Bengals,
Please
guys.
excuse
Come on
Josh
now.
with his obscure old man reference. Next, he's going to start describing episodes of the Andy Griffith Show. Back when television was still good.
And just like our show, Black and White.
It was between him and Montez Sweat. Now, Montez Sweat measured off the charts at the combine. If you look at his, he ran the 40, 4.41. He's 6'6", 260. 4.41, 21 reps on the bench. He's a Jason Pierre-Paul clone. He's
He's somebody else that
athletic.
Detroit has been linked to as well.
Right, but he's got a heart condition.
That's what scared me off of
That's what's making him fall in my drafts. Because if all things were in a vacuum, he'd probably be a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
Because
there was
he's
a defensive
6'6".
tackle from Michigan State
Right.
very recently.
Maurice Hurst.
Exactly.
Yes.
Who looked like, or not Michigan State, Michigan actually.
the Wolverines.
Who looked like he was going to be a first rounder. Find out he has a heart condition. Slides to the fourth round.
Slid far. Because that's not something you mess with. That's something that a guy could die over.
Yeah.
You know,
pass out dead on the
right,
field. you know?
exactly. And it's happened a couple of times in the past 10 years where guys had to be rushed to the hospital because their heart gave out. So, Montez Sweat, the medical scare me off. Jeffrey Simmons not going to play this year. But this is not going to be a year where the Giants are competing anyway.
Not really.
And I think if Simmons comes back, he could be Fletcher Cox. He could be Geno Atkins. And on a lesser level, maybe an Aaron Donald-ish type player.
That's definitely stretching. I'll definitely buy in the Geno and the
That's
Fletcher
why I say
Cox
a lesser.
comparisons.
Nobody's Aaron Donald. There has not been an Aaron Donald before Aaron Donald.
And you know what's so cool about that pick is that you could actually sneakily like on a very sneaky tip pick a really good player,
Right.
That no one has seen,
Right.
You know, there's no tape on him. Like you said, he didn't do any combine, so
But
there's no.
his Mississippi State film is ridiculous. I
mean, yeah,
he throws people around. He gets to the quarterback, and you could look back 5 years. I mean, when did Fletcher Cox get drafted? He wasn't in the top 5.
Yeah.
He was a mid-round pick, and he's one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL.
That
I
could
mean,
be a
that could
very
be
good-
Jeffrey Simmons 5 years from now. The Giants could say they took Devin White and Jeffrey Simmons in the same draft.
I like that.
They could be a
actually
home
like
run,
that.
and obviously there's some risk with an ACL. We all knew that.
Yeah, but I mean, how many players tear the ACL?
Right,
and come-
ACL now is not like tearing your ACL 20 years ago.
Right, and they
No,
come
not
back,
even close.
come back even better than they were when they left. Man, I think that's a really good pick.
And I think they punt drafting the quarterback until next year's class, where it's going to be some higher quality.
actually
I mean, because
good
the top
quarterbacks.
3 in next year's class each of them would be better than any of them this year.
Or take a douche in the 6 or something. I mean, just
Well, you got Herbert.
developmental dude.
You got Herbert coming out next year. You got Tua, and you got Jacob Fromm from Georgia. All 3 of those guys.
I mean, we took Trevor Siemian in the 7th, and whether anyone said or not, Trevor was pretty decent at one point. You know what I mean? He was still, he needed more development. Unfortunately, he only had 1 year with Peyton, but I think he would have been better for us sitting 4 years behind Peyton than Osweiler was. If you would have given him 4 years behind Peyton.
And I think the Giants, I mean, a lot of people say draft a receiver to replace Odell, but they just signed Golden Tate, gave him a lot of money, and they extended Sterling Shepard and gave him a lot of money. So there's no point in drafting a third high-dollar receiver when you could get one maybe in the 2nd or 3rd round.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they extended Eli for another year, so I think they're planning to take a quarterback
Why?
next year. Well,
Why?
Okay.
I agree with what they did. I agree with that.
Why do you agree with that?
I agree with that because of what he's about to say. They're going to keep Eli, let him play 1 more year, and then draft a good quarterback in next year's draft.
Everybody hates on Eli, and there are some things that he does that aggravate the piss out of me. Okay? But Eli threw for over 4,000 yards last year. He's not sitting there with a lame duck
They're
arm.
behind every game.
Not true. They
And
lost.
then throwing
Not
for
true.
4,000 yards this year, or any year now in the NFL, is not the same as what it was 20 years ago.
So tell me
10
this.
years ago,
Tell
even.
me this: when Keenum threw for less yards than Manning with the Vikings, it was his breakout career year. But Manning
And then
throws
squat before that, though.
okay. But still, you look at the stats. He threw better than Dak Prescott.
Ooh.
But Dak's the savior.
You know, Dak was in Bossier last night.
What? Man,
He was at
Do we also realize
He
that
hit
Jimmy
me up.
B's.
He hit me up. I told that, man. They say he coming to see
I mean, he threw better than a few guys.
could have let us know that? I mean,
You know, and like I said, they need a new quarterback. That is obvious. But the offensive line was terrible. Nate Solder didn't get his groove until mid-year. I think they hit a home run with Will Hernandez.
Yeah,
Their
I do like that pick.
Their center broke his leg. Their right guard, they claimed off of waivers from the Rams. I mean,
I like what the Giants did.
I think this year they got a foundation. The center's coming back. They traded for Zeitler. Solder's got a year under his belt in this system. Hernandez has got a year. I think if they can figure out that right tackle situation, which I think they'll do second or third round, that they'll have a decent enough offensive line. And obviously Odell's not there, so the production may dip a little.
so you're obviously not going quarterback or wide
No,
receiver
I'm
with
not
either
going-
of your first two picks.
but
So
it's-
here's what I'm going to commend you for just a second,
Okay.
because there's a lot of GMs that would sit there and reach just to appease the fans, especially in New York.
Yes.
Because, I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to be looking at that, especially whenever they get up there at 6.
Yes.
If they don't hear the name Dwayne Haskins,
They're gonna be pissed.
They're going to be pissed.
Well, think about it this way, though. You traded Olivier Vernon. You traded Snacks Harrison. You traded Eli Apple. You let Landon Collins walk out. You have Alec Ogletree, who is your defensive captain, who is questionable at best.
You brought in
traded
Jabril
Jason
Peppers
Pierre-Paul
to be Collins'
right.
replacement.
So you got and Janoris Jenkins is aging. So you got all these holes on your defense. So no matter if you score 40 points on offense, it doesn't make a difference
doesn't
if
make
you're giving
a
up
difference
50
at
on
all.
defense.
That is
You're-
So I think
absolutely right.
if you have a draft where you can draft 2 picks in the top 20, you got to get, and especially in a draft that is so defensively heavy, you got to get those studs while you can get
There's
them.
there's a lot of people, a lot of the pundits, also called experts and everything, that are saying that this could potentially be the best defensive line class ever.
And think about it this
Ever.
way. Even if they take Haskins at 6, he's still not going to start over Eli. At least not until mid-year.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just...
You play your vet, man.
Yeah, you play the vet and you let the rookie develop. And I
Straight
don't
up.
think these quarterbacks... I think this quarterback class is going to be the same as that quarterback class that we saw where it was E.J. Manuel and Christian Ponder and Blake Bortles. I mean, not Blake Bortles. What was the long-haired guy from Missouri? Blaine Gabbert.
Gabbert, yeah.
Blaine Gabbert.
Oh, not
that
Gabbert.
draft,
Oh.
that was the 3 first-round quarterbacks, and they were all terrible.
Trash.
And none of them are on the team that they got drafted by.
Nah, I'm with that, man. Don't go with a quarterback. Don't go reaching trying to grab something that's not there.
If they didn't love Darnold or Josh Allen last year, they're not gonna love these quarterbacks this year.
Nah, don't reach.
Yeah.
Don't reach. Sign a vet for one more year. Let him play. Get you a good quarterback next year.
Big Apple, resist the temptation on that.
I had a lot of fun watching Josh Allen run last year.
Yeah, he
Like,
was running for his life.
What
though.
was that?
Well, he had to. There was nobody to throw to and nobody to protect
He
him.
was unusually athletic and fast for a
I
quarterback.
think
that size.
everybody
Yeah.
looks at him and they're like, "Oh, Big Ben,
Yeah,
lumbering
yeah,
around."
but he's- he was running.
Forrest Gump kind of thing.
He was out there killing it, man.
Yeah.
Good for Josh Allen.
I think they're gonna get. I think the Bills are gotta take some pass catchers this year though.
Well, what was the last time 2 players?
Hawkinson.
That's who I think they're gonna take if he gets past Detroit.
2 players with the exact same name get picked in the top 10 in consecutive drafts.
Crazy. Completely opposite in every way.
There's no way that this happens, but what if Josh Allen gets picked by the same team in back-to-back years?
That would be amazing.
That would be crazy.
Wow.
And the
Think
top
about that
10,
for a second.
right?
Yeah.
Well, the Bills have what?
They have 9.
Bills have 9.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't.
I think
they'll
they
have
had
to
the
trade
9th
him.
pick
But
last
Josh,
year.
he will not sniff the 9th.
No,
Yeah.
Josh Allen
He
will
will be
gone.
long gone by then.
Well, maybe the Bills should have traded him with the Niners. I'm just saying. Who knows?
Oh man.
You know what it is?
You didn't call. You didn't call.
People got to call the Bills. Man.
Yeah, he did.
Think about this though. Baker went 1 last year, Oklahoma quarterback. Murray looks to be the favorite to go 1 this year. Guess who just transferred to Oklahoma? Jalen Hurts. who is the
from
same
Alabama.
build as
Yeah.
Baker and Kyler.
Yeah.
So what if Oklahoma puts out 3 number 1 picks
3 bad
in a row?
3 badass.
Baker's
quarterbacks.
fun to watch, man.
Baker's fun. Well,
He
Kyler
is.
is too.
He is.
So is, look, say what's right about Josh Allen. He impressed me more than any of those picks last year because he wasn't touted as highly as everybody else.
He just had a freaking cannon attached to his
Hey
shoulder.
man,
but he gets in there, he doesn't disappoint. He didn't win games,
No.
but he played well,
Baker and
or at least better than a lot
I
of people
think
thought he
Buffalo
would.
is. I think Buffalo is a sleeping giant. Their coach is good. Their defense, he does a lot with a little. And if they get an offensive coordinator there that can do something with, he played at Wyoming.
Yeah.
So he's got a learning curve with actual
A little bit.
good.
The physical tools are definitely there,
Yeah,
and
he's-
he's already shown that the mental
Right.
capacity is as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think Josh Allen may be the best out of that.
Well,
that draft.
I'm gonna end it on
Tremendous
this.
upside.
I'm gonna end it on this. I'm gonna end me on this. I say that Mayfield and Odell are gonna have some fun next year.
I think they're gonna have problems.
I think they're gonna have a good time, and I think don't be surprised if you somehow see the Browns maybe in a Super Bowl run.
I'll agree with it, but think about how many huge egos are on that team.
It's a lot.
You got Jarvis
But they could be
and
fun together,
Odell
dude. I think
and Baker, and you brought in the guy who kicked the woman on the video, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
And you got rid of Jabril Peppers, so now you got to bring in defensive players. Like they got a stacked team on paper.
Well,
But their first year coach is going to have a hell of a time making sure that all those egos
Well,
don't
excuse
overlap.
me, people, but sometimes, and this is a disclaimer, a couple of assholes can put out some good shh.
That's right. You're right. But also,
You know what I
you
mean?
could have
And I'll leave it at that.
you could have a situation where
Fair.
Vince Young called the Eagles a dream team.
I was about to say that.
You could also have one of those situations
So much.
where Vince Young and Mike Vick.
I love that the obscurity, and it has such validity as well.
Because
That was
you
great.
can
That
win
was
the
great.
offseason and not win anything in the regular season.
I mean, it would have been less impressive if you would have said it, Josh.
Yeah, obviously.
Man, that's
I'm just messing with you.
Sports at night, y'all. Sports at
Real
night.
fans will talk.
Yeah,
So I was just keeping it real.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Be cool, be real. Like you're yeah, in honor of your dad. Yes. So, I think it's time we close.
This might be the longest podcast
It's gonna be
ever.
the longest one
In the
ever.
history
Yeah.
of ever until
But,
the
I
Game
mean,
of Thrones
but
episode.
it's been hella fun though. It's
Yeah,
really
it
been
has.
an enjoyable
Yeah,
ride to
it
be able
has.
to sit here and enjoy with you guys. You know, the four of us all together doesn't happen, but I'm very glad that we have finally had an opportunity to do it again. So yeah, we're closing that off. On behalf of all of us here at Sports at Night, Real Fans, Real Talk. As always, Todd, your host, the Coach Knight, Jevon Superman Miller, Josh Hale, and Will the Beard Trahan. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to watch or listen to us on this busy and beautiful Easter Saturday.
Yeah.
Happy Easter, you guys. And we'll
Happy
see you on the other
Easter,
side,
y'all.
baby.
Be cool, be real.
I love you guys. Man, I love you guys.
You're all right.
Yeah, I do so.
What a great soundbite.
Yeah. Hey, it's better than that one I said. It's better than the one about KTBS that I put in there.
Yeah, there was.